Aloha, everybody, and welcome to Spirit Chat Radio. Today, I want to be talking about cutting cords and energetic relationships. This is going to be a topic that actually I want to talk about all things energy because there's some other energetic stuff that I want to cover. So, for those of you who are in the Higher Purpose Learning Group, one of the questions had actually come from there. For those of you who are not, that is my spirit community that I've started. It's on Facebook. If you would like to be in the group, we talk about a lot of things regarding spiritual stuff, anything spiritual in nature, spirit guides, angels, loved ones who's passed over, energetic waves, cutting cords, all kinds of different things. You can actually go to my keys-to-the-spirit-world.com. At the top, there's a tab. There's a part that says Spirit Community. You can ask to be invited. I'm very selective of who comes into the group. Most everybody gets invited in, but we monitor the group closely because we do not want any solicitations or things of that nature. So we have a lot of cool ongoing conversations in that group that I think that you guys would enjoy very much. People love, love, love this group. So anyways, a couple weeks ago, I did a podcast on past lives. And this prompted a lot of different questions. And it prompted energetic questions. And if you haven't listened to that, you might want to go listen to that. Like I said, it was a couple weeks ago. It's the connections that we have with people in this lifetime and other lifetimes. And one of the things that hangs people up energetically and makes people feel like they cannot move on in a relationship is when they tend to have past life connections with people, these energetic connections. And so somebody had asked me, actually this is a little bit different the way that I've had this question before regarding relationships, but this particular question was that they were meditating. Jan said she was meditating on a relationship with a relative, and she got the words energetic cord. She knows what this is, and it makes sense being an empath and all. How do I cut this cord permanently? So basically what you want to do is, if you want to cut a cord, well, let me talk about what this is exactly. So energetic relationships sometimes can have stronger ties than others. Usually an energetic cord is only produced or there if you've had, some people say that they're there with all relationships. I don't necessarily agree to the strength of that these different energetic cords have, because I feel like there's not always necessarily a cord, but there's always an energetic connection, and it depends on how many times that you've reincarnated with these people, what types of energy that you put between the two people. And sometimes I find that when people are really putting a lot of energy into a relationship energetically, whether it's toxic or healthy, that doesn't make the difference, but they tend to create this bond or this tie, what people essentially see as these energetic cords. And these cords, a lot of times, are not healthy to keep attached. So imagine it kind of like you have a string or a tie to somebody all the time. You put it around your finger and they put it around their finger, and you're constantly tied to these people. But maybe sometimes you don't want to be tied to them anymore because you want to just kind of be separated. Basically, it's energetic codependency. That's what it can be like. And so when it's a healthy relationship, you don't tend to notice as much. But when it's a not healthy relationship, that's when people really feel like they want to break this bond or this energetic thing that is binding them together. And this would be an energetic cord. And so what you would do if you wanted to rid yourself of, so for instance, a scenario would be maybe you have a friend, a family member, you have a lover or a boyfriend, significant other, girlfriend, whatever that you no longer want to be attached to, and you're feeling very tied to this person in a way that you maybe are having a hard time getting over the relationship, or you're feeling like you want to stalk them on Facebook. Now you're a Facebook stalker. Okay, so anyways, that being said, it can help to cut cords energetically. For some people, it's going to work better than others. So if you're listening to this and you try this and you're not feeling this break in energy, that's okay too. Like I said, for some people it works better than it does for others. For me, it doesn't really work. So, but I tend to have a lot of control over who I allow to connect to my energy. Whether it's past life or this life, I'm very, very aware of who I'm connecting with energetically. And if I don't want them to have any type of energetic connection, I'm very good at like dropping the hammer and done energetically. You're detached from me. So I don't use it as an energetic cord thing. It's almost like, and this is another technique that I use. It's almost like it's a wall of energy, a wall that I put up between our energy fields, a bubble, a wall, whatever you want to call it. But when I'm really trying to block somebody's energy away from me, the first thing that I will do, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I will get to the cutting cords. The first thing that I will do is I will call up my angels. And angels are really good at clearing energy. So for me personally, I find that the calling the angels in to clear the energetic ties between me and somebody else is way more effective. And so what I do is I actually go into a meditative type state. I call my angels in. I ask them to please do a clearing on me and remove anybody's energy that is attached to me. And I don't always make it a specific person. So for instance, let's just say that I didn't want, like, let's pretend I had a friend or family member or something in my life that I kind of wanted to remove their energetic hold on me a little bit out of my life. I won't just do it for that specific person. I will actually do this energetic clearing for any unwanted energy around me, because I feel like it's important to be aware that sometimes you may have a lot of other junk energetically attached to you that you're not necessarily pinpointing. So like if you imagine calling a cleaning crew in your house and telling them, oh, just clean off the entertainment center really good because that's dusty. But you don't let them clean the whole living room. See, that's kind of what, that makes no sense to me. So you just let them do their thing, find what they find, get everything tidied up, and you're good to go. So I go into a meditative state. I call my angels in. I ask them to clear my energetic field. You imagine them coming with a big net, one that's larger than your body, and have them start at the bottom of your feet and swoop this net all the way through your body. So the net goes through your feet, your knees, your hips, everything, all the way to the top of your head. And while you go through this net, it catches all this excess energy. And when they get done, they tie it at the top and take it away. And you repeat this process until you're feeling energetically clean. You will be able to feel the difference. It will feel kind of like you took a shower or something. So that's what I use. However, for those who want to use energetic cords, you imagine this person that you are attached to, and you begin to visualize and see this cord that is, sorry for all the background noise, by the way, guys. For some reason, when I do podcasts, people like to drive by and be really, really loud when they do it. But anyways, you want to see this energetic cord that is attached from you to this other person. Usually it's a silver cord in color. It can be white. But whatever it is, just see this string attached to you. It attaches at your belly button, usually, or somewhere around that area. And it attaches to them. And you just take an imaginary giant scissors, or else you can use your hand and actually use your hand like scissors, and you just clip the cord away close to your body, and you just clip it, and you see that cord just go away. And you just see it float off, and it's no longer attached to you. And you kind of, shake the energy off your hands. If you use your hands to clip the cord, you want to make sure that you run them under at least water afterwards to clear any of the residual energies. This is a good thing to do before you get in a shower or something like that, because again, then you're clearing and cleansing yourself of any residual energies that will, come from the cord. So that's what an energetic cord cutting is. You can try it. You can try the angel thing. And a lot of people, for me, with the angel thing, I can feel the instantaneous relief from the pull of energetically from that person. People tend to have the same effect with cutting cords. So you may want to try both, and maybe you want to try one or the other and see which works for you. Or maybe, like I said, you might want to try both. The other thing is that I find is super helpful is usually when you feel like there's an energetic cord or something attaching you guys, understanding just from the knowledge that most likely this energetic connection is not from this lifetime but from other lifetimes will actually help your mind and your energetic body begin to separate your energy from this lifetime. Just understanding that you're carrying residual energy from another lifetime of this connection, and that connection is not necessarily, that energetic bond is not from this lifetime, and it allows you to release the past life connection that you have. And so you want to acknowledge and give yourself permission to see and release that energetic connection you've had from other lifetimes with this particular person. So if you're feeling somehow really affected by somebody, or the intense connection, there's an intense connection between you two, even if you're not talking, or you feel it only on your end. Because here's another thing, which I don't think I talked about in the past lives thing. Sometimes a person who is very aware of a past life connection and that bond and that energetic cord and feeling that you get that's kind of binding you together, or actually even often, the other person may or may not recognize that bond. It depends on where they're at vibrationally. So if they're vibrating at a lower level, they're not as in tune with their spiritual body, they might not even notice you as a past life connection and may just be like, okay, this isn't near as intense for me as it is for you. Other times, if they're more in tune with their spiritual body, then they're going to feel that energetic connection as well. And they're going to be also kind of like, what is this thing? And why are we still attached to each other type of thing? Because basically, let's face it, if you're cutting cords or whatnot, you're trying to release this energy from yourself and your being and just from your life so that you can move a bit more freely without their energy weighing you down. So the other thing that I did want to talk about as far as energy stuff goes, we have been experiencing a lot of energetic waves, and I started doing some posts on my Facebook pages when we have them. And somebody had asked me the other day, why are you always posting just like things that make me feel like, for instance, I'll put, here's what you might be experiencing, lethargic, tired, whatever. And they're like, why are you keep telling us all this stuff? Like, is there ever any good waves? But the funny thing is, I had actually posted something like a wave or two before that of a very productive wave that had come through. And nobody really noticed or remembered that I had posted that. So I found that very interesting. And that particular energetic wave was one that was about out with the old, in with the new. It was really a time of really wanting to clear out old energies in your house, in your home, in your environment, in your life. And it was really a good time to just get rid of some stuff. So these energetic waves that have been coming through, I wanted to explain a little bit more. As people are becoming more in tune with their spiritual body, what's happening is they're becoming more in tune with the energetic movement as far as universal energy goes. Earth energy, moon energy. So these moon phases are becoming pretty intense. And energetically. Like, so for instance, let's say 20 years ago, we had the same moon phase that we have now. I would say the moon phase was maybe a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 2 or a 3, whereas in now the intensity is like, a 7. And so the moon phases and different energetic waves are becoming more intense, but also in combination with that, people are becoming more in tune with their spiritual bodies. So when you become more in tune with your spiritual bodies, you're also more aware of how things feel energetically. And so this is causing a lot of these waves as they come in, they are going to have all different kinds of effect on you. Sometimes you're going to feel really productive and just feeling like you really want to get some stuff done. Sometimes you're just going to feel literally so tired that you feel like you can't open your eyes for the whole weekend and you just want to not do anything and not be productive at all. Sometimes you might feel edgy energy, irritation. So these waves carry different tones to them or different vibrations to them. And when these vibrations come over and kind of flood your space, they tend to affect your entire being. And so that's what's happening with these energetic waves. They come in phases. They tend to last anywhere from a couple days to 2 weeks. They come at different times. They're not always with the moon or whatnot. But it's good to be aware of these energetic waves so that you can just assume that it's necessarily not you just being lethargic and lazy that weekend, although that's okay too. But sometimes it's nice to know why you're feeling so lazy. So these waves can also affect your relationships. They can affect how that you are really, communicating with one another, and are you biting your spouse's head off, that type of thing. So that's really important. And so if there's waves coming, I will post them in the Higher Purpose Learning Group, usually, and or on my Facebook page, just to give you a heads up. Hey, this is happening. This is why you might be feeling this way. I think the last one had like a lot of strange dreams were coming in. And so sometimes these waves will bring in stuff like past life issues that you have to resolve or different things like that. But energy, as far as energetic relationships, like I said, I want to be talking about that a little bit more. We talked about the cord cutting. We talked about just the energetic exchange and bond that you have between people. We want to address, or I want to address, people ask me about soulmates, twin souls, twin flames, that sort of thing all the time. And they're under the impression that all of these things technically have to do with a lover or a loved one or someone that they have a romantic relationship with. And it's really important for everybody to realize, as far as energetic relationship goes, relationships and soulmates, twin souls, all that kind of stuff, twin flames, it's not always, maybe even I'd say 50% of the time, because the other 50% are just regular people in your life, family members, acquaintances, and friends. That are they related to a romance situation or loved one, or like not a loved one, but like a spouse or a significant other type of situation. So the thing about energetic relationships, and people ask me all the time, well, how will I know if that's my soulmate? Or, I'm looking for my soulmate and this and that and the other thing. Okay, a couple different things. If you are actively looking for your soulmate, the chances of you finding them is really slim. And I hate to burst your bubble on that, but you cannot actively search for a soulmate type person because you start putting some conditions on that, and as far as universal laws work, they won't flow into your life naturally. If you're looking for a soulmate or somebody who you feel like impacts your life in a positive manner, because that's what you really need to look for. You need to be looking for somebody who enhances your life and makes you a better version of you. That's what a soulmate essentially is is somebody who you have a relationship, whether it's, like I said, a family member, loved one, whatever. You have a history and a bond, but energetically together, they make you a better version of you, and you begin to vibrate at a very different level with these people in your life. So your vibration raises, you become a better version of you. And that's what, and it creates an energetic bond that is really, really intense. And that's why people call them their soulmate. It's like, they can feel it. They can feel this high vibration activating from the very core of their soul. And so, and then there's a bond that happens as a result of that. But these situations where they're a soulmate, a twin soul, twin flame, that sort of thing, is a positive, feel good type of relationship. If you are in a relationship that does not make you a better version of you, but you have an intense connection, this person is not your soulmate, not your twin soul, not your twin flame. Those all have positive aspects energetically. If you are feeling an intense connection in your relationship as toxic or not feel good, that relationship is a past life connection where you should probably do the cord cutting or the energetic clearing or whatever that you need to do. But an intense relationship that is a not feel good kind, but you feel like you cannot for whatever break that bond, that is a past life relationship. It's a past life energy that you are bringing over into this lifetime. And here's what really messes people up. Sometimes they can have a very positive, intense relationship with a person in a past life, then reincarnate into this life, and together in this life, they do not fit at all. They become very toxic and unhealthy to one another, and they affect each other's life in a negative way. That can also happen, and that's what confuses people, because they're like, I feel like we're supposed to be together, and I feel like this is supposed to happen. You were supposed to be together in another lifetime, etc., etc. You know, and I do feel like I need to address the fact that yes, everything happens for a reason. Yes, people are in your life for a reason. But if you're in a situation where the relationship is toxic, unhealthy, or not a feel-good, just not a feel-good relationship, if you're in that type of relationship, it is not your path to force that relationship through. It is not. It is our job, our situation. While we're here to learn, grow, experience, and be the best version of ourselves. When we run into situations where we're in toxic type environments or in toxic relationships, our job essentially is to identify and adapt and adjust to figuring out how to not let that affect our life and or release any toxic negative energies or things that will affect our life in a not feel good way. It is our job to learn, grow, and experience and learn to release. So for instance, you wouldn't understand or know if you didn't experience toxic relationships what a good relationship was. So if you didn't experience bad things or things that didn't feel so good, then you wouldn't know the difference to, oh, this feels way better. This feels good, you know? So if you are in one of those situations and you feel like you're supposed to be together because that connection or something, it's not this lifetime. It is not that you're supposed to be together. It's that you are being very stubborn and trying to force something to work that's not working. And the interesting thing is, a lot of times when people let that type of toxicity go, two things will happen. Either that relationship will alter and change itself, or that will also allow you to release blocked energy to bring in good energy into your life. So The other thing that I feel like I want to address as far as energetic relationships go is I do a ton of readings of people who were in a relationship previously, maybe they're not anymore, or that they're feeling like that they want a companion in their life. So basically single people who are wondering, when's my next guy or woman coming into my life? Like, I want to be with somebody. I'm telling you guys, energetically, you could not repel somebody more energetically than that desperate need to have somebody into your life. You will prolong a relationship that's coming energetically. You will push away relationships that you have energetically from people. Desperate energy is a real thing. If you focus really wholeheartedly on pulling love into your life, you couldn't repel it faster. You just couldn't. Once you become sidetracked energetically, and like I said, it's like kind of like that magnet thing. You just, if you concentrate on pulling it in, flip the magnet over, you know how that magnet will repel the other magnet? That's what you're working with on universal law energy when you do that. If you concentrate on bringing other just good energy into your life, or if you concentrate on just trying to figure out the best version of yourself and how to find happiness, it's like flipping the magnet around energetically. You will then attract what it is that you desire. So if you are in a situation that you are really feeling like you want to pull somebody into your life who is your soulmate or whatever, your twin soul, you're just a really good person. You want to just refocus your energy, not on the person, but in finding joy and just feeling like that you're doing the best thing that you can do as far as staying happy and in enhancing your own life. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, do things that you wouldn't normally do. Go outside of the box of things that you like. Be adventurous if you're not normally adventurous. Do things that to the core of your soul you're kind of blocking yourself from doing. So, a lot of times as we become older, when you're younger, you tend to naturally, teenagers, children, you tend to naturally gravitate towards joy and experiencing life on a level that just sounds exciting to you. As adults, you tend to just shut that whole shenanigans down. And you will bring more love into your life by experiencing life on a level that is amazing and crazy to you in a way that is just like, wow, this is this. I am so grateful to be alive because this is really cool what's happening right now. You will pull it energetically into your life, oh gosh, a million times quicker than you will if you're concentrating on that specific one. And the other thing is, I notice when people are very concentrated on bringing in energetic relationships, as I like to call them, the soulmates, the twin souls, whatever, when they're very concentrated on them, for some reason, people tend to fall into the same old patterns of relationships that were unfulfilling from the past. And that's kind of interesting because they're energetically not moved on. And if you're energetically not moved on and you're concentrating on bringing love into your life, let's say, for instance, you got divorced, okay? And you got divorced from your husband who is no longer working, and you're ready, you don't want to be divorced. You don't want to be alone. You want to move on. Maybe it's been 6 months, maybe it's been a year, but you want to pull someone into your life. If you haven't gotten to yourself to the part where you're just experiencing all life has to offer, and you're more focused on bringing that companion in, energetically, you will move from one person to the same energy. One energy to another. Everything is run off an energy and a vibration. You don't want to pull that same vibration from your old relationship into your new relationship, obviously, because the old one ended, right? So, when you shift to, I'm going to start doing things differently, out of the box, I'm going to experience more, I'm going to live life more. When you do that, your vibration raises. And you will then attract in higher vibration relationships, whether it be friends, lovers, whatever. You're going to attract in a higher vibration relationship. And when you do that, you set the tone, you bring the tone way up the bar. You set the bar from a 2 to a 4 to a 6 to a 8, whatever. You move up the scale. So energetic relationships are very important. You want to be watching for ones that affect you in a negative manner. You want to be, it doesn't matter what type of relationship it was. If there's intensity there, there's an easy way to tell if, well, you can have some intense relationships that are, if there's intensity there, you've definitely had a past life with those people. If there's that thing that you just don't know, it's just like, I can feel it. We've known each other. It's intense. So you want to be aware, is it a positive or negative relationship? Is it enhancing or non-enhancing? You want to cut cords and clear those from your life from people who do not have a positive influence on who you are as a person. You want to cut cords and cleanse with those people, cleanse their energy away from you. All relationships are energetically alive. The relationships are energetically alive. And you need to be aware of what type of energy that these relationships are bringing and pulling from your life. And so it's really important to just have that knowledge of how energy works. And then, of course, be aware of energetic waves that are coming in. The energy movement around everybody right now is really holds a lot of information as long as you just know what you're looking for. And remember that as far as soulmates, past life connections, twin flames and whatnot, you can't become very focused and pinpointed on bringing that type of energy into your life, because you will bring in a lower vibration relationship and you will potentially match your last relationship when you concentrate really heavily on doing that. So that's really important. So interesting to me. Like, I just find it fascinating how many people feel that that's where joy comes from in their life. I get having a companion. And, I've been married for 1,000,000 years, so I understand that, but I don't know what goes wrong where everybody just loses a sense of who they are and how that they can just enjoy life regardless of who they're around. But it happens a lot. It really happens over and over again. But somewhere along the way, between, I would say, 15 years old and easily, in 25, people just, they start losing their way. They start losing their sense of just enjoying life, just experiencing life. People do that really good from 15 to 20, 25. And then they just completely throw that out the window and they start thinking that it's all about a relationship and it's all about a companion. And it's really interesting because I was talking to someone the other day who was going to go on a trip. And, if you remember when you were younger, 15 to 20, 25, whatever, you could always find people to go do things and hang out with. They didn't have to be somebody you were dating at the time. You just wanted to be social. So most people just had a group of friends or a couple of friends that they went out and did everything with, usually the same sex. Sometimes they were different sex. They weren't always romantic. They would definitely travel somewhere. They would go to concerts. They would experience things. And it's really interesting. I don't know where people lose that along the way. I mean, they just tend to somehow replace that with it has to be a lover or a companion. And their vibration shifts immensely when they do that. When you were 15 to 25 and you just wanted to socialize and experience and just learn to be this independent person from your parents, you just moved towards joy and had such a blast. And your vibration was high. Your vibration becomes very high when you do that. And you pull in all these really cool energetic relationships. and then you settle in one, and then you lose yourself. And it's really interesting. It really, really is. So, and not everybody does that. Not everybody loses themselves. I'm just talking about for those of you, if you're not happy in your current situation, you want to reevaluate how much you're experiencing and loving life as a whole, and how much your focus is on a relationship. It's something that you want to evaluate for sure. So hopefully that answered your questions on cutting energetic cords, when you need to cut them, like I said, or when you need to do a clearing. Energetic relationships, you want to try to cut cords, remove them if they're having an impact that is less than stellar. If you're uplifted and feeling good with those people, fantastic. Bond, make that cord stronger, whatever. But if it's not happening, and you will have your ups and downs, but I mean, overall, if it's just not feeling good to you, if you're not enhancing each other as a friend or otherwise, then you want to kind of release, cut, and get rid of those ties. So hopefully that was helpful. Pay attention to your energetic relationships as well as the energy waves, and kind of roll with the punches there, but always move towards the positive energy and know that it is flowing in and out of your life consistently. And so you want to work with the most highest vibration energy that you can. So until next time, hope this was helpful. Aloha.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Black Friday is coming, and for the adults in your life who love the coolest toys, well, there's something for them this year too. Bartesian is the premier craft cocktail maker that automatically makes more than 60 seasonal and classic cocktails, each in under 30 seconds at the push of a button. And right now, Bartesian is having a huge site-wide sale. You can get $100 off any cocktail maker or cocktail maker bundle when you spend $400 or more. So, if the cocktail lover in your life has been good this year, or the right kind of bad, get them Bartesian. At the push of a button, make bar-quality cosmopolitans, martinis, Manhattans, and more. All in just 30 seconds. All for $100 off. Amazing toys aren't just for kids. Get $100 off a cocktail maker when you spend $400 through Cyber Monday. Visit Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.